How's everybody going? We just got through watching Daredevil Born Again episode 3, and we'll see what everybody thought about it. All right, guys, let's go around the horn, get like kind of first reactions, and then we can kind of go deeper into the episode. Matt Munoz, what'd you think about this episode, man?
Honestly, I was a little disappointed. I wanted some action in this episode. I like to before the episode started, I had a feeling that we were going to see Punisher, and I don't know. We'll talk about that, but um, yeah, I don't know. I was hoping for a little more action and stuff this episode.
All right, Adelia.
I really like this episode better than the first two episodes. Yeah, there wasn't like any real like action, but we got very much a lot of courtroom stuff in this episode, and I really enjoyed all of it. So, yeah.
Brandi.
I like the episode. We got, like Adelia, we got a lot of the courtroom stuff. Didn't like how it ended, but
I did not like that ending either.
No, it did not at all. But I liked it.
Probably gonna be the same for everybody. This was my favorite episode of the season so far. I can kind of agree with Matt because like I don't think there like so for instance, if there was a little more stuff and a little more a couple more things you were more happy with in the first two episodes, this being like a courtroom scene style like episode would be like hell yeah. I think more. I think some people will feel a little bit like Matt did because they wanted to see more action and stuff like that. I've said it a couple times, wish there was more courtroom stuff, so I'm glad I got this. I enjoyed most of that. Nothing really to complain about on the courtroom side of things. But yeah, I think because the first two episodes didn't have this huge amount of action either, it didn't cover up for this episode. So I can see where some people are like, man, I was hoping for more action because I didn't get a lot of it in the first two episodes. Because I will say, if you're going to do like the courtroom kind of thing, maybe an episode or two in a row, you're definitely going to have to surround that with some action, especially when you're talking about a Daredevil show.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that one of the reasons why we're not getting a ton of action is because Matt's not technically Daredevil at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think once he starts putting the mask back on and going out there as Daredevil, the action will definitely pick up.
No, yeah, you might be completely right with that. Like, he's still like in between. You know, you get some of the dialogue here between the White Tiger and Daredevil. You know, kind of like him being his shoe on the other foot because like he's not being Daredevil right now and acting like he doesn't. He's acting to him like he doesn't miss it, but with the episode going on, you see him sitting in the courtroom like fiddling with that broken horn that's off his mask.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, he's with Daredevil as well. So Matt's dog really wants him to be Daredevil.
Yeah, yeah. Robin is looking forward to that. Now I'm unmute you, Matt. Okay. Sorry.
Robin had a lot to say about that episode.
Robin had a lot to say about that episode. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was sad.
The end was sad.
Mhm.
I really loved that we got an episode that had a lot of Camar de los Reyes in it, though,
Mhm.
because like this, he's sadly no longer with us, and I thought he was great in this episode. Like
Mhm.
the way he spoke and his mannerisms, I just thought he was fantastic in this episode.
Now, you said that they changed some stuff. I wonder if his death kind of changed some stuff too.
It might be.
They killed off the character.
I mean, this happened pretty early on, so I'm pretty sure this was sort of the plan. Like maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know, because like this was a major episode with him involved in it, with the court proceedings and all that. It kind of seemed like this episode to me flowed better than the first two episodes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
The only drawback I would say, like in this episode, is I don't know her name. Not very good with names ever, but I don't know her name. But Daredevil's like, I guess what it would be like
A lawyer girlfriend.
basically like the she's kind of like the Foggy.
Coworker.
She's like on
The new lawyer. That's
Yeah.
Kirsten.
Yeah, okay, but like I don't really care for the acting there. I think that was like the weakest thing on this episode, although I enjoyed the episode. So that's not saying complete garbage, but it's like that was the weakest thing to me. I don't know if like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the flow, the chemistry, or the lack thereof,
Not
between
foggy.
them. Yeah, not foggy. But I'm not even judging it based on that. It's just like watching the
Mm-hmm.
episodes. There was like a couple of moments where she kind of felt like out of place or something, like with either how she was acting in that certain particular moment, or what she was doing or saying. And I don't want to blame it on like the writers, because I will say this for this particular episode, I thought the writing and stuff was done really well. We got a couple of cool moments from the characters with them, in their dialogue and saying things. Like the story about the frogs in Puerto Rico and stuff like that was
Coquito.
a pretty cool little moment. They even added the sound of the frogs there at the end of this episode after he gets like taken out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so yeah, like I actually think this episode was written really well. I didn't see any bad things with that. I will say like the fist stuff is like, I don't know. It's sad because like we watched season 1 of the original Daredevil, and it was like every time Fist came on, it was like the greatest thing ever. And then this, like, I'm not saying Vanessa or him's doing really bad as far as acting or whatever, but it's like, because like the first couple episodes, everything went by too fast. Like he was all of a sudden mayor and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have like a couple of moments in this episode, and it's like, nah, I'd rather be with other people. I never said that when Fist was on the screen, like in on any even season 2 of the Daredevil, like the few moments you got.
Yeah. I think that Fisk is trying too hard to be a good guy, even though I don't think he is fully
Hmm.
being a good guy. I mean, we saw the bruised knuckles on his
Hmm.
hand in that one scene. Um, he's gonna start being more like Fisk again eventually, but
Hmm.
he also has to be like Mayor Fisk, like not seen to be doing all this stuff. And I don't know. I don't particularly care for Mayor Fisk. I think
Well, the guy said, "I don't work for the mayor. I work for
I
the
work for the
man."
man. Yeah. But then we found out Vanessa's the one that sent him,
Vanessa's
not
the man.
not Fisk. Yeah. So I have a feeling that the repair of Fisk's relationship with Vanessa is going to be him becoming more like the old Wilson Fisk than
She wants
her
the
becoming
power.
more like the new Wilson, So,
She wants the power. Well,
well,
you could
she's
see
had
that.
the I
Yeah,
know,
she
and
wants
she's
it
had
back.
the power.
And she
Yeah.
said, "You're ruining it, basically. Like you're messing everything up."
Yeah. I think Fisk thinks he has a plan, and I think Vanessa has a better plan
Mm-hmm.
in their eyes. And I think that's part of the problem between them.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that like f- maybe the vigilante thing is what's going to start setting Fisk off, because like he's giving that interview to BB Urich at the end, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's somehow responsible for Hector's death.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I don't. Do you think that was cruelly Punisher that killed
No, that
them?
wasn't Punisher, no way.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that doesn't like fit.
Someone
That
that had a Punisher shirt on.
if that was like the actual Punisher that did that or whatever, like I would just turn the series off. I wouldn't even finish it up.
No, I don't
That's
think
not what the Punisher would have did.
I don't think that's Frank. I think that that's maybe that police
That.
officer that was testifying, or one of the other police officers that
Mhm.
has the like Punisher-esque tattoo that we
Mhm.
saw on his neck or whatever.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think it might be one of them, but or another one from whatever like order or cult group or whatever that is.
Mhm.
But I think that once this becomes clear, because I think that Matt's gonna have to get involved and be
Yeah.
Daredevil-esque. I think he's gonna go find Frank,
Mhm.
because there's a scene in the trailer of Matt finding Frank.
Mhm.
So we'll
Mhm.
see. I'm gonna take Matt off mute now and see if Robin's done barking.
Hmm.
Well, I can't unmute him. He has to unmute himself. Okay. Um, but yeah, I think that I really enjoyed all the courtroom stuff. I've enjoyed Matt like revealing Hector's identity as White Tiger, because he knew
Mhm.
they were losing and
Mhm.
they had to do something. And yeah, I liked the conversation with him and Hector afterwards, where Hector was like, "You should have asked me first."
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, I know that makes it more public because it was done in a courtroom, but it wasn't a secret that he was White Tiger because I mean they literally had to have the talk about him being
Right,
White Tiger
right,
before the thing. So
right.
there
But
were people that already knew who he was.
there
So
were people that
Mhm.
already knew who he was, but then Matt had that talk with the DA and the
yeah,
judge to suppress that so it wasn't brought up, and then Matt brought it up. So
Okay.
yeah,
no, yeah, exactly because like he had the witness that was going to change the light on everything, and come to find out that guy was a wuss because as soon as he saw like the cops that were sitting in there in the courtroom and everything, he like started sweating and
when they
heart
got to
beating.
him, we didn't
Yeah,
see that yet.
doing the whole thing. So like, but no, yeah, I just thought there was some like really good stuff in this episode. Besides like little minor things, like way better. This is way better than the first two episodes. Definitely 100%. This would be the
What?
best graded episode for me so far of this new season. 100%.
Yeah, I agree. Brandy, what do you think?
I liked the episode. I just, I not like I didn't like that they killed him at the end. That's just it
Yeah,
just really
You
hurt
just
me.
don't like sad things.
I don't. I really don't. I don't like sad things. I don't like gory things. I don't. I want a happily ever after, but I knew something was going to happen because it just seemed all too like ooh, well put
yeah,
together. You knew that the cops were like all mad and pissed that he got off, and so I knew I'm like he's not surviving. Like as soon he got off, I'm like they're gonna go after him. Why don't they have him in like witness protection or some sort of protection? You know, because they're not just gonna let him get away with it.
yeah.
I'm
So I looked up like timeline stuff. Camar de los Reyes died in December 2023,
2023.
and then it looked like they hadn't started filming new stuff for the season by November 2023 because of course everything got delayed because of the writers strike.
Hmm.
mhm.
So it's possible that this was always the plan, or it's possible that they wanted to include more with him,
Hmm.
but
He got
because
sick.
he was so sick and close to death at that time and then unfortunately died, that they had someone else in the mask, and that's how they chose to end the character. And
Hmm.
But yeah, I think you need like shows like this and movies like this. Well, like shows like this, obviously, but like movies with this kind of storytelling, so that when you watch those happy, oh, everything works out good movies, it's like doesn't make them extremely boring because that's what it would be if every
yeah,
movie and every story was told that way. To have these moments in the shows where this happens, because like it was a shocker to me. I wasn't thinking that like I knew the guy passed away, but I wasn't assuming that like uh, third episode or whatever, he's getting taken out like by a Punisher wannabe. It's got to be a Punisher wannabe, like I said, because now, but I just know there's not any more to it. I was gonna say it'd be different if the Punisher knew something different about the White Tiger we didn't know, and then they decided to tell that story of the White Tiger being some evil bastard behind the scenes and all that stuff happening. With that being said, I they're not going to do that. So, like, yeah, this has to be a fake Punisher, obviously. So, I think they made that a little too obvious.
yeah. I mean, the fact that I think if it was Punisher, they would have shown us that it was Punisher. I think the fact that we
Right.
can't see the face
Yeah.
at that final scene, it's not.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree.
You have anything to say, Matt?
Sorry, my connection's pretty bad too, so I wasn't hearing kind of what you guys were saying. Yeah, no, that's what I was getting to when I said like I was kind of disappointed with the episode. Is that the whole thing was building up, getting him off in court, getting the case thrown out, and then he just gets shot in the head. Like it seemed kind of dumb to me, but
Hmm.
Well, I mean, that's
whatever.
what
I
makes
guess
it
they're
sad, though, is
progressing
because,
this.
like, but that's what makes it sad is because, like, he got the victory, but then, like, because people knew who he was and everything, now it just makes him easier to do that. Because like I actually thought the guy who was in charge of the DA was like a super cool lawyer. He had like a really good argument or whatever. But Brandy even brought it up, like he was saying all these things about the White Tiger, but that also could be said about the police officers that you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
call a hero, right?
Hmm.
Not all of them is not ever going to do something bad, and at the same time, he's talking about being a mass as a coward. Well, in a lot of cases, that would be true, but main reason why you would want to do that if you were somebody like this is that now people know where you are, they can get to you, the bad guys know where to go, and now you're just like easy pickings, and that's why they want to like
Well,
hide their
he said
identities.
good people can do bad things, bad people do good things. And I'm like, that's the same thing said for cops. You know, you're trying to make all the
Yep.
cops as good people, but there are some bad cops out there, and we all know that
Yeah.
there are some bad cops out there.
Yeah.
So that argument that he was trying to make and stuff, I'm like, it could be said about anybody. So I'm glad that the jury in that thing, probably some of them might have thought the same thing I did, and they acquitted him. They acquitted the
Yeah,
white
and
tiger. They got him off.
I actually thought it was pretty interesting in the episode that they ended with the DA like really doing his closing statements, but really didn't have like Murdoch Daredevil have anything really to say, because I actually thought that made you like doubt, because he had a very good like argument, like a very good like thing to say that could have possibly swayed some of the jurors or whatever. And for them to leave it like that and not have Matt come back behind him with some awesome ass like speech or whatever,
Well, we
made it
kind
to
of
where
heard the end of Matt's closing statement right before they went to the
Mhm.
DA.
Yeah.
right. But like the end with him,
Mm-hmm.
usually they'll end with like the main character coming back and like kind of reacting to what the person just says. But I actually thought that was actually pretty good, because that left doubt in my head. Like when they were reading the if he was guilty or innocent, like I was actually like, oh shit, I don't know what they're gonna say.
Mhm.
I don't know what they're gonna say. And then like when the person read off like not guilty, not guilty. Now I technically thought that they were probably gonna get him just on manslaughter or something, but they said he was not guilty of any of it and everything else. But like I actually thought that was really good and really cool and interesting. But just got a message from my son. I gotta go get him, so I'm gonna give my episode score. I'm giving this episode a 7.5. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I can see where Matt's coming from with the action, but I don't have to add the action if the courtroom stuff and everything else I find entertaining. And as long as the story's like being told in a good way, and I thought that was done in this episode. It's my favorite episode so far of the series. So they kind of got me. I'm interested in the next episode or so that comes out. I'll be waiting to see it, but I actually thought this was pretty good. And I thought it ended pretty good. Like you might be sad about what happens to the white tiger and all that kind of good stuff, but to me, that's like good storytelling. He's coming out doing the thing. Now, I knew something was going to happen
Predictable.
to him when they showed him immediately going back to putting the suit
It
on.
was
He's got the
predictable.
amulet. He's going out there. Like I knew something bad was going to happen to him after this court case. Like once I saw what was going down, but I didn't know that until it got to that part and it shows him like doing his thing. So like, but yeah, I thought this episode had heart, good storytelling, and I like courtroom stuff if they do it well. And I thought they did it well.
It was
But with that,
predictable. Killing them, it was predictable to me. I knew it was going to happen.
all right.
Yeah.
With that being said, I got to head out.
All right,
Yep.
Justin.
Love you,
All right,
baby.
love you too.
All right, so let's take Justin off the screen.
Mhm.
Put me up here. There we
Thank
go. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the episode. I think one of the reasons why we might not be connecting with Kirsten yet is because we've had very little
Little.
of her.
Yeah. Mhm.
I need to see why Matt picked her to be the law partner
Mhm.
in this new law firm. It obviously isn't the same law firm that he had with Karen and Foggy.
Mhm.
I need to know why he went with Kirsten. I'm hoping there's a scene about that somewhere in this, even if it's just him telling Heather, the girlfriend,
All about it.
this
Yeah.
is when
Mhm.
maybe talking more about Foggy or something, and like this is why I moved on, and Kirsten was a good like anchor for that or something like that. Um, I need something like that in this season, or maybe next season. Like I just need to know why they chose Kirsten for that. And I
Yeah.
hope we get more of her, like cuz like we used to in the original series get like Foggy on his own, and we're
Mhm.
not getting that with Kirsten right now.
Yeah. So we don't really know a lot about her.
Yeah. We know that she likes to set Matt up, and we know that he set him up with Heather, and that's about all I know about
Mhm.
Kirsten right now.
Same. That's all I know from her too, because
I
that's all
like
we've
her
seen.
though. I liked that scene in what was it, episode 1 or 2, where he was telling her, you need to stop setting me up with people.
Yeah.
after he found out that was the actual purpose of why he'd
Mhm.
she'd sent him to go talk to Heather.
Mhm.
I liked her in that scene. I thought she showed some sass and some cheek in
Yep.
that scene, but I need more of that.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, we're not going to get that in a courtroom,
Uh,
and
yeah,
most
no.
of today's episode was in a courtroom. But
Yeah, no, you're definitely not gonna get that in a courtroom at all.
yeah,
You're not gonna see the playfulness and friendship type thing, and I guess they're making her gonna be like a friend like Foggy and Karen.
yeah. I mean, obviously, it's not the same
No,
type of
but
friendship,
no, it's not the
but
same vibe.
yeah, it's not the same vibe. It's always going to be different than it was with Foggy and
Mhm.
with Karen. Like, there were just so many different reasons why that was very different to this.
Mhm.
But I'm willing to give it a chance. Like, I don't hate her automatically
Oh
or
no, I
anything
don't.
like that. I just don't know enough about her yet.
I thought she was fine in the courtroom scenes. I don't know what Justin was talking about. I thought she was pretty fine. Um,
Yeah, I thought she was too.
the person I had a problem with was that freaking Nick person, the one that they
Oh,
the
Nikki,
witness.
the
Yeah,
witness. Yeah.
yeah. He they had him all hidden away because he was afraid the cops were going to kill him. Daredevil saved him. They gave him his little drugs to keep him from being all pukey and jittery on the stand. They saved him because the cop was going after him. They put him in
Hmm.
the cab instead of the van that the cop stopped. And he goes in there and then he sees everybody and he's like, I wasn't there. Like,
Yeah.
what? Are you, they went to all this trouble to protect you and do this. Now I would have been like, throw you to the wolves. They don't care what you 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 want to be an asshole. I would have just thrown them. I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
bye. We're done. We're not protecting you no more. Have fun
Yeah.
trying to hide from the cops
That
now.
was very disappointing.
I was disappointed, and then all of a sudden, then that forced Matt to not to out White Tiger because he had no other choice.
Yeah. What did you think of that witness, Matt?
Yeah, I was like, wait, they probably have a written statement from the guy already and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if you could just flip your testimony like that on the stand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of threw me off. But you know what throws me off too is these BB reports. Like, I see no
Mhm.
reason for these little quick interludes of people on the street. Like, who cares? They're not even talking about like the court case. They're just talking about whatever. I don't know. I think they're annoying.
I kind of agree with you on that. Like, I'm waiting to find out what the actual purpose of all of them is because obviously BB has become someone that Fisk wants to get news out through.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, but like, I really just think that like
I told you I was confused from the beginning. I
I
didn't.
can totally see why they're confusing to people if they
Mhm.
don't understand what's happening.
It's
And
supposed to
once
be.
you do understand what's happening, it's like, well, why are you choosing to relay this information in this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have them like the real people on the street, and that's the type of thing. I'm like, and then they did talk a little bit about it because the guy's like, oh, he's Puerto Rican, you know.
Yeah. That guy did.
That guy did, but some of the other ones, yeah, I was confused. Like, remember I said I was like, what the heck is this BB crap? And I had no idea what it was. And then we're like, oh, BB is Ben's. But they wanted to, I
Niece.
guess, they wanted to put Ben back into this too. They're like, oh, let's get his niece. But doing BB
Yeah.
reports and that, like, they're stupid. I'm sorry, they're stupid. I like the actress; she's just whatever when she goes into her scenes to do it. But those little clips that they have BB reports, I just think are dumb.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to do like a I don't know, like rogue reporting, I guess in internet reporting, kind of like we're on here, like a YouTube type of show type of thing.
Yeah, if we were doing like news reporting, we'd be doing something like the BB report.
Yeah,
Um,
but why are
but
they adding it though? Like I don't.
I don't know, as a way to like update, like nobody reads newspapers anymore.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. I'm hoping that there's a greater
exploration.
purpose to all of this and a greater explanation
Mhm.
for. I mean, we assume the BB report is a YouTube series or something like that. It could be a Twitter series. It could be on any of those other platforms. Because they haven't explained it yet. That's just this is BB and here's Fist talking to her.
Mhm.
Like, So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. Hopefully, with some more stuff
Mhm.
that is explained.
But he's going to use her to get it out. And just like the lady said, we have bigger news people to get things out to.
Yeah, we have people at the Times,
Yeah.
but he's trusting her. I do wonder how much that has to do with Ben
Hmm.
and Fisk knowing that he's the one who killed Ben,
Hmm.
stuff like that. But and it seems like she's on his side this time. Who knows? But
It's all confusing.
the BB report stuff is definitely something that I wish they'd explain a little bit more.
Hmm. Thanks for bringing that up, Matt. I forgot all about her. See, that's how forgettable it is. Like you don't even really like, what is this crap, and you don't really remember it. That's all I remember is the guy saying something about, oh, that he's going after him because he's Puerto Rican. Something like
Yeah.
that. That's it.
Yeah, so some of those BB report things is just like, okay, so you're talking about crime in New York, but like, why are you relevant?
Hmm.
I just don't understand that part stuff yet. The stuff with Fisk and Vanessa is very interesting.
Mhm.
Fisk saying, you know, to her, "Don't get to a point where I can't trust you,"
Mhm.
was very threatening to me.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I never thought he'd be like that with Vanessa. So what's between them right now is very broken.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Um,
She's upset because she had things in place, and then he came back in and is messing it all up.
yeah, like
She likes the power. I see. She got a taste of the power, and she wants it.
yeah, she's gone like full bad guy,
Mhm.
and Fisk is trying to be a good guy as the mayor. It's
Mhm.
not a combination that's going to work well, and I want them to be working together again because I can't handle it if they split up.
Mhm.
Like that was the one thing I loved so much about the original series was that the main antagonist also had this great love interest.
Yep. And now they're breaking that apart.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that they get things resolved throughout this season.
I don't see.
We'll see. We'll see because Fisk is going to have to descend more into being Wilson Fisk, the kingpin, as
Mhm.
the season goes on. So, um, we'll see.
How many episodes are in this thing again? 8 or 9?
There's 9.
Yeah, so we're already a third of the way through.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why I was disappointed that there wasn't any action, just because I was like, man, like, yeah, we're a third of the way through. Like, we've had like maybe 2 fights in the thing so far.
Yeah.
But like we said,
I
Matt's in this courtroom phase thing now, so that's why we're not seeing it as much.
yeah. I think that this was mostly the Hector stuff in the courtroom was mostly from the old head writers. And the ideas of what this series was before the writer's strike when they retooled it because I mean it was it made for a very good episode. It would have been really a shame if they had scrapped all this stuff with Hector and then we didn't
Mhm.
get to see Kamar in this final role of his.
Mhm.
But I would like to see next episode maybe some more action. Maybe Matt finds Frank. Maybe Matt decides to take up the mantle again. Who knows what's going to happen in the next episode? But I would
Yeah.
like to see that happen.
Well, because it's going to be a little different now because we don't have the trial, so it's going to be
Mhm.
something. Obviously, dealing with the death and how he got killed is going to be something, but
Mhm.
we don't know where
I
it's
was
going to take now.
I was kind of surprised that they didn't dedicate the episode to the actor too.
Well,
That
they
kind of
dedicated
surprised.
episode 2 to him.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, all
Yeah,
right,
that was at the beginning of it.
Yeah, so they
okay,
dedicated the one where he first appeared to him,
Hmm.
but not this
yeah,
one. And like I don't know, I would have found it maybe a little strange if they dedicated the
yeah,
episode where his character dies to him.
Yeah.
yeah. Especially when it's right at the end.
Yeah. But Matt, are you of the agreement with us that that's definitely not Punisher at the end?
Yeah, no, I don't think that's Punisher because
Yeah.
Punisher never cared who saw him, so he
Yeah.
wouldn't be rolling around in a hoodie. You know, he would just have his face out.
And I don't know why Punisher would be killing White Tiger. Like, Punisher
Yeah.
kills bad people doing bad things, and I don't think Hector was one of those people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Yeah.
this is definitely one of the police.
Maybe that dude that was saying that they needed to take out that other dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The one that had the tattoo on his neck.
Yeah. That's the thing. I want to know more about this police cult or whatever we're gonna call it,
Mm-hmm.
with the tattoo on the neck, and that other police officer has it on his wrist. We've seen 2 tattoos now of a Punisher-like symbol. I want to know what that is. I'm very intrigued by that because I want to know what Frank feels about that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see the witness again. I think he's gone.
Good.
Yeah.
I didn't like him anyway.
Yeah. But I don't know what else to say about this episode. What about you guys? Any final thoughts, Matt?
No. I mean, it was an okay episode. I'd give it like a 6.5.
Okay. Brandy?
Yeah, I gave it like 6.5, 7. I liked it.
Okay.
Much
Well,
better than the 5.5 I gave it the last.
Yeah. I'm a little higher on this episode than you guys are. I'd give it an 8. I really thoroughly enjoyed this episode a lot.
7 is
So,
good for me since what I've
7
been
7
going.
is good.
I've
No,
been going.
7 is definitely an improvement over the first 2 episodes, which you said were 5.5. So,
Mhm.
I think we all agree that this episode we enjoyed more than the first 2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for episode 3. Thanks for joining us here on the post credits. We will be back next week with episode 4. Uh, I don't think next week is one of the double episodes. I think that's 5 and 6 is they released 2 episodes the same week. This is a very weird release schedule, so you will see what the post credits release looks like, but we'll be back next Tuesday with whatever the next episode is, episode 4. And until next time, you guys, we are out of here. Bye.
Bye.